still an incredibly strong pick. Not necessarily the most value against what Nongshim have so far, but still nice into both a lot of the junglers that are still available as well. It's actually happening.
Okay, yeah, Rascal's going to do it. He's going to take away the Udyr. We did see this yesterday. It was full tank. It did a lot of not dying until it died because he was the last man standing. Although I did go to Vietnam for a few days over New Year's. Actually woke up at like 3 a.m. to see the sunrise. It was absolutely fantastic. But let's get into it. Game number 1, DRX taking on Nongshim. The debut game of 2024's spring season.
For setup and Invader, Sponge is at the ready, but not able to get anything at least for now.
The sponging has begun quite early on in this one as he starts up the rev buff, but immediately sees Sylvie heading towards the top side. Rascal asking for a little bit of attention, one could assume. And yeah, it looks like Nongshim not going to be able to stop him. They know that Sponge is in the area. They don't want to try and go for it, so Rascal going to be able to get behind that turret, even stealing away some little minions, and they're going to help deny the Krog. So already, DRX off to a good start this game.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure whether we had reached a consensus yet on that. It's Call Me.
No, we hadn't reached a consensus, and we are very impressed by the Spanish League's name for it, which is Kevin's.
The Kevins, yeah.
The Kevins.
Which is great. The base damage of Udyr early on is really oppressive to deal with. Call Me as the flash.
Oh dear. Not a great start. ACEITAMOS really making his name known here in this mid lane already. Call Me is no slouch, by the way. I know you may not have necessarily heard his name too many times, or maybe you have, but he's really good. He's really, really good. Especially like his solo queue record over the last few months has been phenomenal. But ACEITAMOS, he's really, really good. And currently, just doing some Orianna things. Full bobs being picked up here by Sponge. Some honey fruit being consumed. Rascal just, I feel like he's living his best life on this Udyr towards the top side of the map, just feeling like an immovable object. Just phoenixing, which is not the name of it anymore. I just can't stop. Emperor's Divide going to throw ACEITAMOS onto the turret. He's going to get the flash with the shockwave. The knockup comes in, and that's first blood. Was that planned? That was beautiful to watch. Let's see it again. The shockwave flash, just gorgeous as a response here.
So calm as well, right?
So DRX will survive.
So unlike last time, they don't actually give anything up for this. They give up control of the Dragon Pit, at least for now, but that's only temporary. Should be able to make their way over here, and you can see the hesitation that Nongshim have to try and go and make a play with Jiwoo being
this. That's a flash forward. Jiwoo going to have to flash out of that one. Teddy, ruthless in the beginning of this game. Wonder whether this is just going to be what Teddy's going to be like this year. As in goes Call Me, decides not to press the R button, and ACEITAMOS is going to say, I've got one, don't you worry about that. Gets another flash.
Here in this jungle 2v2, I think.
Oh, bubble coming down. That bait was gorgeous. Peter going to have to flash as well. No flashes remaining, as there's a flash forward from Sylvie. Does get a counter-strike onto Teddy. Immediately he cleanses. Decent movement speed buff. There is the bubble. Does manage to stop him, but it's not enough. And there is the first kill for Nongshim. Sylvie grabbing that one.
And while I'm very happy to see Teddy actually going as aggressively as he did there.
Not quite there yet, but getting closer.
They do know that something is wrong, but ACEITAMOS is also on his way. They can't defend this. That's so much being gone as Peter.
Oh yeah, the dash calling coming out. That is going to be 50% health on both bot lane members of Nongshim. Sponge is coming on over to give them as much space on this turret as possible. 3 plates going down thanks to the Void Bubs. Look at him go. Absolutely adorable. Little Void potatoes. And that is going to be a heroic charge. Nice bubble to layer that CC. Tidal wave. And Sylvie just couldn't do anything. He was told that he wasn't able to move until he was dead. Peter's put in a bubble. Double tapped by Teddy here, and that's a shockwave. ACEITAMOS down here on the bottom side. Barrier comes out and keeps Jiwoo alive, but it may not be enough to keep the turret up.
Yeah, and while it comes, when it comes to macro, I think DRX, if they can get this turret, would be big. Might go down still. Teddy?
Yeah, just actually avoids the Emperor's Divide. Call Me not quite finding his R button too many times this game.
ACEITAMOS.
The turret has now been removed. Teddy just trying to escape from this one. Command Protect will make sure that he's going to stay alive. Colmy does reconstruct a turret, but ACEITAMOS just says, nah, you're dead, buddy. Gonna be able to grab that kill with Teddy's help. And then Colmy just a sitting duck, or a sitting pigeon, as it were. Steadfast presence, and Dundun's dead.
You know what happened to Dundun?
No, I don't.
He got sponged, Atlas.
I was missing some pretty valuable context, I think, as Jiwoo not going to get bubble. Tidal Wave avoided as well. Oh, the Moonlight Vigil going to miss. And that means that Teddy will survive this one. Nicely played by the young gun on Nongshim. Not quite enough to grab a kill. Of course, have spent some time on some big stages, ACEITAMOS especially, as Tidal Wave going to gracefully meander by. And that is Sylvie just driving Shelly into the turret. Will be taken down. Not able to actually complete it, but it is pretty close to going down. Dundun with a decent Naba, but DRX closing in. Dangerous position as... Oh, Rascal. Oh, Rascal. Okay, Colmy not going to get over that wall. If he had a press shifting sands, he may have just died. Or had to ult and flash. Making his way towards the pit. We'll have to see which version of that. Oh my goodness, Teddy can interrupt us as Jiwoo's almost just dead. Colmy finds the Emperor's Divide, though he's swept up and destroyed. Pleta has to flash away. Rascal staying in amongst it, but not quite able to do enough here.
Still very much in a situation where they're in a pretty large deficit. ACEITAMOS.
Okay, gonna flash out of the way of the counter-strike, but Peter is going to be there. Now Teddy just going to back up his mid laner. Sylvie's still wanting a little bit more. Piercing light. Lots of damage, but Colmy teleports in. Sponge. Okay, can he find something? The answer's no just yet. Oh, gets the cleanse out. And Flash Heroic Charge was decent. Not enough, but here comes Rascal. Does manage to find the stun onto Jiwoo here, and that is a circle of death he's created. Jiwoo's going to get destroyed. Sponge goes down. Rascal, will he be able to keep them at bay? As Dundun's trying to be the hero, finds the Nara into the wall. Oh! 1 versus 3. Manages to get a kill, and Teddy has to run for the hills. Nongshim finding the team fight. 4 Cloud Drakes. That is absurd. As the Baron has been started. Full information here to DRX as they do get the Scryer down, but this is dying so quickly.
That's gone!
Azir and the Aphelios, that is so much damage. Dundun just going to try and keep them at bay, and the Baron is taken. Nongshim, what a play. Dundun going to be sacrificed, but a worthy sacrifice indeed.
But you were able to withstand that first Baron without any of your inhibitors going down, still have an inner standing in mid. So it's not the end of the world, but at the same time, from this point onward, you are playing against a team-fighting team that is insanely strong. ACEITAMOS doesn't quite find Sylvie there.
Well, quick plate's completed here for Teddy. Clears out the minion wave with the culling, but Jiwoo is looking pretty scary. Next fight should be for the Baron. It's in goes Colby. There's the Flash Emperor's Divide. Only onto 2, though, as he does use his Zhonya's. Teddy going to get taken out first, though, and now the blender has started. Jiwoo's guns aren't optimal, but they seem good enough for this one. Double bubble. Gorgeous from Pleta. Might buy them a little bit of space. The flash out from Sponge. He is poppy. He is pretty quick. I don't think he's going to be able to escape from this one. Another bubble. Heroic charge, and maybe he'll be... No, never mind. He's dead. Jiwoo going to be able to secure that one, and another Baron on a silver platter for Nongshim.
And all they had to give up was Colmy. Last time it was Dundun sacrificing himself. A Hail Mary play, a big ultimate from him, could still salvage this game. Sylvie.
Yeah, bubble does come in. He just gets thrown into the bouncy castle. Knock up there onto Jiwoo. He's in the front line. Rascal, not quite enough damage available, though, to try and stop him. And the ulti comes through from the Melio to keep Jiwoo alive. DRX just unable to crack Nongshim, even though they kill the jungler. Yeah, but you mind.
Do note, he does have his death cap available. Okay, it does show himself, so should just leave it at that. I'm not too sure about showing yourself there, Colmy.
Yeah, the flash does come through to avoid the Emperor's Divide. Shockwave comes in, and now Teddy, he's going to be tanking up the Sun Disc. Another bubble from Pleta is really nice. Just buying some time, I guess, is Colmy, as Sponge does pick it up. And that is going to be in trade for an inhibitor turret. So I guess, you know, lose one thing, gain another, in theory. Sylvie going to avoid some auto attacks there. Of course, a fair bit of spell damage done here by Teddy as well.
Contesting?
All right, they're going for it. Moonlight Vigil to try and soften them up as Pleta in the back of the pit is taking so much damage. Now Sylvie was over the wall looking for a steal. It's going to be the secure by Sponge. And now Teddy just flashing on over, wanting to find Sylvie here, but I don't know whether it's really worth it, as Dundun going to be able to grab an inhibitor. They are playing the late game map really beautifully on the Nongshim side. And there's another Counter-Strike. Teddy with the... Oh, he survives, and Jiwoo dives forward. Teddy still trying to sling the light around, and it's 80 carry for 80 carry. They lose their Oriana as well, though, and Dundun, he's like, well, I started, I may as well keep going. Sylvie also still alive, as Rascal just doesn't do damage, unfortunately. Dundun going to be asked whether he could leave, and Dundun's going to say, not respectfully, no, I will not. I'm going to go for this minion wave once again, as Rascal, wrong direction, but he is still at least alive, and his base remains standing as well, if not in a little bit of shambles.
Yeah, they don't know where he is. Peter not going to be able to find him. Straight back to another battle.
Yeah, Sponge. He had something in his mind as, oh, Shockwave going to be avoided by the shifting sands here of Colmy. When that cooldown is back up again, Empress Divide going to be big, as into the backline goes Sylvie. Steadfast Presence going to deny it though, and Teddy says goodnight to the Jax. Empress Divide onto just one as Sponge goes in, and the Moonlight Vigil to follow up. Teddy just getting eviscerated here by the massive Aphelios. Poppy gonna fall down first, but now they're limping away from this fight, and Jiwoo, he's looking like he's hit critical mass, Chronicler. It's looking so difficult to deal with here on the side of DRX.
And Rascal pulling the wave, trying to ensure that the con actually ends. He doesn't die. Well, they're getting it anyways.
Yeah.
Sponge?
Dundun, he's running around the map. Another culling to come in here, as Dundun going to be sacrificed for the good of the colony once again. Man, that Sundisk just really tearing.
Where are they going in? They're a member down.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Jiwoo is out of the fight. And so that means that I don't think Nongshim are going to be able to do too much more. And it's feeling neck and neck at the moment. 4,000 gold is the lead here for Nongshim. They do have a bit more control. But I feel like this could go any way, because now it's just up to one team fight. Could be an Elder. Sponge getting torn apart. There's a Flash Emperor's Divide. Jiwoo grabs the kill on the Poppy. It was Rascal who got swept up, so he's not going to die just yet, but it may be an inevitability that DRX can have to get
he's running!
Never mind, he's running. He's Udyr. He's just going to escape, I guess. Peter gets knocked up. Jiwoo just runs towards them. Bleta just gets flanked by Dundun. Okay, good night, Satab. He's going to be taken down as Teddy's culling finds not a whole lot more than air. And Jiwoo is so incredibly scary. The flashes forward as Sylvie dives on top of Udyr, and he does eventually die. One Nexus turret to be taken down, and then Nongshim will take game number 1 here in the spring season start of 2014. 2014? 2024. Where am I? Who am I? Nongshim just won.
Oh, I love you for that.
No, I needed it because, you know, he was picked on in the early game and then found some really
No. I love you for that. I had to go for the Gatling gun himself.
Ah, the boom boom vote. See that?
Gatling gun versus Fountain Laser.
I actually think the based vote is Dundun.